time here at ASU?
Yeah, I mean, he's really grown up here, little guy when we first started, and just big supporter, obviously, always around practice, games, very invested, and now it's come full circle. He's really been a great teammate. Really, it's fun to have the exchanges we're able to have in practice, where I could pull him aside and say something to him about something bad that might have just happened, or something good, and to be able to share those moments with him the last couple of years have been it's been just so rewarding for me, and so proud of him and the man that he's become, and so it's something to be definitely it's going to be very, very emotional to see Bobby walk through out to half court. That's going to be a tough moment.
What do you think you've learned the most as a father or coach working with your son in this way?
Just that, it's a partnership, man. He's really, he and I are so close, and we built such a strong connection, and I just can't be any prouder of someone that is a good student that works as hard as he's worked, and he's just a tremendous example, for our program, and I'm just proud of our relationship, really, that we have the type of friendship that I think is so special to me.
Not that it's easy, but to piggyback off that, do you have, the line between like dad and coach at the beginning, was that, a little challenging for you? And him too?
Look, I mean, he'll have some bad body language moments, and sometimes it's not easy to navigate if I say something. But I just try and allow him to have his moment of displeasure if I say something to him in a critical way from a basketball standpoint, and then we just keep it moving.
He hasn't had a lot of meaningful minutes, but the other night when you put him in when the first team was struggling, how nice was it for you to see him go in the game in a situation like that with the rest of the other guys and really put in some good minutes?
Well, I think the basketball gods rewarded him because of how hard he works and the extra time he puts in working on his game. And he's had to battle through a wrist injury this year, so it hasn't, always been smooth, perfect for him this year. But just the amount of time he's invested the last couple of years to get himself in a situation where, he's not out of place in a situation like that. And I think he went in there with confidence because of the work he puts in.
Is the word revenge being used in practice this week, or how do you guys address?
I don't know how anybody responds to going through something like that. I know how I would feel. I've been through it. I've lost like that as a player. So I certainly would take it personal, but it's just it's hard to know. So many things happen now. One thing's done, you move on to something else. Is it really in your body to just feel that pain and to try and make a different result this time? I don't know where everyone stands in that area.
Looking forward to finding out.
I mean, as competitors, it's why I'm thankful and grateful to be the head coach of Arizona State, because I get to go and play and coach and do what I love to do in games like this. This is what it's all about as a competitor.
Obviously, the inside game was a big problem the last time you played them, and guys picking up fouls early. So, how do you kind of guard against that, or do you tell your guys to maybe not be as aggressive early, or how do you kind of try and combat that?
Yeah, it's. I don't think we're alone in having a hard time with fouls. Certainly, when you're talking about a guy like Balo that's as big and athletic and physical as he is, you're going to be put in some compromising situations, and we hope that we could do a better job using our speed and our footwork and not get tangled up around the basket. But overall, it was, we didn't do a good job in the first half of understanding game situations, and we turned the ball over early in possessions a couple of times, took a couple of tough contested shots, and before you knew it, it was a double-figure game. So when you're playing a team that's this good, you can't afford to shoot yourself in the foot. You have to manage the game well. If you have a great opportunity in the open court, you have to take it. If you don't, then you have to you have to make them guard you and force them to defend in the half court. So, hopefully we have a better understanding of that concept, because if it's just straight up and down, then that's, we don't have a chance, because they're too good inside and they have too many guys that could drive the basketball and score it.
Bryson revealed the medical stuff earlier. What was that like as a coach going through that, and how the impact of that on the team?
It's just been tough, because I've wanted to say, how misfortunate Bryson has been through this, but trying to just, with his medical privacy and respecting when his timetable and when he wanted to talk about it, it's, I feel terrible for him. I remember, being with him on Christmas Eve and seeing him, at the hospital with his family, and just to have to go through something like that, particularly on a holiday like that, and then the uncertainty that he's gone through just with all the testing to try and figure out exactly, what the issue is and what caused it. So I think we're getting closer to that point. Bryson's been around the team more now, and it's been great having him, and we're just going to continue to support him, and hopefully we get some closure to this and he's able to move on.
When you saw him, when he was in the portal, obviously he's a local guy. What was it about him that you said, what, I think this guy can help our program?
Just I think he's scrappy. I thought that he's kind of what I look for, a guy that is going to play hard. He's going to give you everything that you have. He's a great program guy. He's a great team guy. He never complained about anything early in the season, playing time or whatever. He's a guy that shows up every day and works. And we talked with people that were close to him, and that's everything that I was told about his character. And I think he's got tremendous character. And then you're always trying to find guys that could put the ball in the basket. And when he did have some opportunities this year, he was able to do that.
Coach, when you talk about matchups for this game too, I know last time their bench scoring was big. You're talking about if they're just going up and down the court, it's one thing, but obviously without giving away the game plan, is that one of your bigger adjustments this game, is just limiting their bench points?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have guys that are playing considerably better than what their averages are, especially a team like that. You want to try and, you're gonna give some things up, unfortunately, to guys like Ballo and Caleb Love, and you got to try and contain some of the guys that maybe over the course of the whole season have not had those type of stats. And we had, Bradley was one of those players in the first game and he's a really good player. He was a McDonald's All-American. So it's, for a guy like that to be coming off the bench, that just shows you, what an impressive group of players that Arizona has put together.